Africa is a continent that is often associated with poverty and underdevelopment, but in recent years, many African countries have experienced significant economic growth and development. This has resulted in increased job opportunities and higher salaries for workers in various industries. In this video, we shall explore the top 10 countries in Africa that pay the highest salaries and the factors that contribute to their economic success. Whether you are a job seeker or just curious about the economic landscape of Africa, this video will provide you with valuable insights into the highest-paying countries on the continent. So, without further ado, let's begin. 10. Nigeria, average monthly salary, $179. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa and the 7th most populous country in the world, with an estimated population of 225 million. Nigeria's economy is the largest in Africa, and the 27th largest in the world. Nigeria is often referred to as the Giant of Africa, owing to its large population and economy, and is considered to be an emerging market by the World Bank. Nigeria's mixed economy is the largest in Africa. It is a lower middle-income economy, with abundant supply of natural resources, well-developed financial, legal, communications, and transport sectors. Most Nigerians are dependent on agriculture, with medicine, oil and gas, IT sector, and financial services being the highest-paying sectors. Numbeo estimates that the average net salary in Nigeria after taxation is $179. 9. Ethiopia, average monthly salary, $199. Ethiopia has a large domestic market of over 100 million people, making it the second most populous country in Africa after Nigeria. Over the last decade, Ethiopia has had one of the fastest-growing economies in the world, with an average annual growth rate of 14%. In 2019, Ethiopia's real gross domestic product expanded by 9%. This consistent higher economic growth brought with it positive trends in poverty reduction in both urban and rural areas. In fact, the share of the population living below the national poverty line decreased from 30% in 2008 to 24% in 2022. Aside from wholesale and retail trade, transportation, and communications, the services sector consists almost entirely of tourism. 8. Egypt, average monthly salary, $224. Egypt is considered to be a regional power in North Africa, the Middle East, and the Muslim world. With one of the largest and most diversified economies in the Middle East, which is projected to become one of the largest in the world in the 21st century, Egypt has the second largest economy in Africa, the world's 33rd largest economy by nominal GDP, and the 19th largest by PPP. Egypt's economy depends mainly on agriculture, media, petroleum imports, natural gas, and tourism. In fact, the tourism sector employs about 12% of Egypt's workforce. Data from Numbeo show that Egypt has an average monthly salary of $224, while the cost of living and rent is low compared to many African countries. 7. Algeria, average monthly salary, $295. Algeria is classified as an upper-middle-income country by the World Bank. Algeria, whose economy is reliant on petroleum, has been a member of OPEC since 1969. Its crude oil production stands at around 1.1 million barrels per day. Algeria is also a major gas producer and exporter, with important links to Europe. Having one of the largest reserves of natural gas in the world, hydrocarbons have been the backbone of the economy, accounting for roughly 30% of GDP, and nearly 95% of export earnings. Workers in Algeria are paid an average of $295 per month, which is one of the highest in Africa. Algeria's unemployment rate stood at 12.8%, up from 11.8% last year. 6. Tunisia, average monthly salary, $299. Tunisia has a diverse economy, ranging from agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and petroleum products, to tourism. Although the country managed an average 5% growth over the last decade, it continues to suffer from a high unemployment rate, especially among the youth. Tens of thousands of Tunisians have lost their jobs in a worsening economic crisis exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, as nearly a third of small to medium-sized business face bankruptcy. Despite all the setbacks, the Tunisian government manages to pay its workers a high salary of $299 per month, which is very generous considering the economic condition of the country. 5. Ghana, average monthly salary, $335. Ghana is an average natural resource-enriched country possessing industrial minerals, hydrocarbons and precious metals. It is an emerging designated digital economy with mixed economy hybridization and an emerging market with 8.7% GDP growth in 2012. Ghana's rich and diverse natural resources, as well as its stable political system and respect for press freedom and free speech, have contributed to the growth of its economy. Apart from the oil sector, its economy is driven by manufacturing, automotive, industrial minerals, ship construction, among others. The country has an average monthly salary of $335. The unemployment rate in Ghana is also low, at just 4.5%. 4. Kenya, average monthly salary, $396. Kenya is one of the wealthiest and most developed countries in East Africa. Minerals, gold, and agriculture are the main foreign exports of Kenya. Tourism, Chinese investment and trade also plays a key role in its economy. In 2021, the total contribution of tourism to Kenya was 37 billion Kenyan shillings, a decline of more than 50% compared to 2019, when the country realized a profit of 162 billion Kenyan shillings. Despite some of its economic and political shortfalls, the country has some of the best average wages. The average monthly salary after tax is $396. The service industry and manufacturing sectors only employs 25% of the labor force, but contribute 75% to GDP. Telecommunications and agriculture are also major sectors of the Kenyan economy. In 2007, the Kenyan government unveiled Vision 2030, an economic development program it hopes will put the country in the same league as the Asian economic tigers by the year 2030. 3. Morocco, average monthly salary, $459. Morocco's economy is considered a relatively liberal economy governed by the law of supply and demand. Since 1993, the country has followed a policy of privatization of certain economic sectors, which used to be in the hands of the government. Morocco has become a major player in African economic affairs, and is the fifth African economy by GDP. The average net salary in Morocco is $459 per month, and with a stabilizing economy, a lot of expats are attracted to the country. Morocco's unemployment rate eased to 8.5% from 9.1% last year. Some of the well-paying sectors in Morocco are human resources, manufacturing, banking, business, finance, and tourism. 2. Libya, average monthly salary, $695. The Libyan economy depends primarily upon revenues from the oil sector, which account for over half of GDP and 97% of exports. Libya holds the largest proven oil reserves in Africa and is an important contributor to the global supply of crude oil. Despite the mayhem that followed the death of ex-leader Muammar Gaddafi and the pockets of violence that are still in the country, Libya's job market remains lucrative. The economy of the mostly desert and oil-rich country has been favorable, and the average monthly net salary after tax in Libya is $695. Being an oil-producing country, some of the highest-paid jobs in the country are in oil and mining. Other well-paying sectors in the country include banking and finance. 1. South Africa, average monthly salary, $1,437. The World Bank classifies South Africa as an upper-middle income economy and a newly industrialized country. Its economy is the second largest in Africa and the 33rd largest in the world. In terms of purchasing power parity, South Africa has the 7th highest per capita income in Africa. However, poverty and inequality remain widespread, with about a quarter of the population unemployed and living on less than $1.20 a day. South Africa is also the continent's mining, industrial, and financial hub. Most of its highest-paid professionals are software engineers, lawyers, IT managers, air traffic controllers, and architects. The average monthly net salary in South Africa after tax is $1,188. So, there you have it, explorers. The top 10 highest paying countries in Africa. Don't forget to give this video a like. And make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Thanks for watching this one. Catch you all in the next.